The Solana DeFi ecosystem is taking off, and in today's video, I'm going to show you how to qualify for 12 potential Solana airdrops. Welcome back to Dynamo DeFi. My name is Patrick, and as a reminder, anything in cryptocurrency involves risk, especially new protocols. So before you use any of the applications we talk about in today's video, and especially before you deposit money into them, be sure to do your own research and understand all the risks, and never put in more than you're willing to lose, because smart contracts do get hacked sometimes, even if they're audited. Now, let's get into the video. And to start, let's look at some of the numbers for Solana and why there's so many opportunities for potential airdrops on Solana right now. If you look at the DEX activity on Solana, that stands for Decentralized Exchange. If you're not familiar with the term, then this past week was the highest DEX volume ever on Solana, with over $2 billion of DEX volume. And that increase in activity is a good sign that more people are using the network. And if you look at the performance of tokens on the network, then you can see that many small caps have started to do well. And to understand why Solana has so many potential airdrops right now, you have to look at their history from 2021 and 2022. Although Solana has its own team and there's thousands of developers that are building applications and infrastructure for Solana, they were historically very affiliated with FTX and Alameda Research. And so, although Solana itself, again, was not built by either of these companies, many of the top applications were either built or funded by Alameda. And so with FTX collapsing, with Alameda going under, a lot of those applications, basically developments ceased on them. The tokens went down 99% or more, and those projects are, for all intents and purposes, dead. So there's now a new generation of Solana projects that have been launched. A lot of them are gaining a lot of usage. They're gaining a lot of total value locked. However, they don't have tokens yet. And if this seems crazy, keep in mind, this was exactly how tokens were when they first launched in the Ethereum ecosystem. Tons of Ethereum projects that you now might consider to be top tier, well-known blue chips didn't have tokens when they first launched. And then people who used them early later received tokens. And so the hope with using some of these Solana applications early that are being developed, again, many very high quality, is that eventually, if and when they create tokens, you as a user will qualify for them. And if you know nothing about Solana, you don't know how to get started, then before you check this out, I'd recommend you look at my video, Everything You Need to DEX Trade on Solana. This is going to show you how to bridge to Solana, which wallet to use, how to make a swap, where to track tokens, basically give you all the tools you need to actually start using Solana. All right, so now we are ready to find some airdrops. And I made this airdrop checklist that I'll link down in the description. And this just has step-by-step instructions for things you can do to hopefully qualify for these Solana airdrops. And there's a lot, so I'm just going to go through each of them briefly, but check out the document and you will see all of this information for yourself. All right, now let's look at some of these airdrops. First is Jito. Jito.network is a liquid staking protocol that gives MEV powered staking rewards. So it's kind of like a combination of Lido on Ethereum as well as Flashbots. And you stake your SOL, you receive Jito SOL, and then when you get Jito SOL, you actually receive points on Jito for using Jito SOL in the Solana ecosystem. That could mean depositing it into DeFi or just holding it in your wallet. However, you receive extra points if you actually use your Jito SOL in the Solana ecosystem. And then basically what you want to do is you want to accumulate as many points as you can. And the thought is probably those points will eventually be qualifying you for an airdrop. You can also refer other users to Jito, and in doing so, you will get 10% of all the points that they receive as well. They still receive the full points, but there's an additional 10% of points created and given to you. Speaking of which, if you find this video helpful and you're going to use Jito, please consider using the referral link down in the description. It doesn't cost you anything. Next project is MarginFi. MarginFi is a borrowing and lending platform on Solana. It's a money market and it's growing very, very fast, much like Jito SOL. And if you look at it here, you can lend out assets like Jito SOL, MSOL, USDC, BSOL, SOL, others. And in doing so, you actually get points on MarginFi just like you got points on Jito. So they have a points leaderboard here, and you get points based on how much you're lending out. You can also borrow, and keep in mind, borrowing does have risks, right? Because you're exposing yourself potentially to liquidation, and at a minimum, you're paying an APR. However, If you borrow funds out on MarginFi, you get 4 times the points for that same amount of assets as you would for lending them out. So one strategy you can actually do on MarginFi, and again, know the risks, make sure you understand what's happening before you do this, but this is what I'm doing, is I am lending Jito Sol, so I'm getting points for staking Sol as Jito Sol, then I'm getting points from MarginFi for lending Jito Sol in here, and then I'm actually borrowing Sol, because since the price of Jito Sol and Sol will be completely correlated, my risk of liquidation goes down significantly. Then I'm staking that Sol back as Jito Sol, lending it out again to get even more points, and kind of repeating that a few times. This is risky, so understand that looping things like this is risky because you're exposed to smart contract risk both on Jito and MarginFi. However, perhaps with a small portion of your portfolio, this could be a good way to farm the airdrops. Next protocol is Drift. Drift is a leveraged on-chain trading platform. Very, very nice. Has lots of top-tier assets. You can trade Sol, BTC, ETH, BNB, XRP, Doge, Link, Matic, tons more. I'm not going to name all of them. And you can see it looks very much like a centralized exchange. You can set limit orders. You can trade with leverage. Let's see how much you can go with. It's not going to show me how much you can go with because I'm geo-blocked, but you can trade with a good amount of leverage. And they also have opportunities to earn. For example, you can provide liquidity in these various pools, and some of them have had quite good 30-day returns. Keep in mind, past performance isn't necessarily indicative of future performance, but some of these liquidity vaults have had decent returns. Also understand that, as you see here, when the exchange loses, when traders win, like the past 7 days, you can also lose here. So in theory, generally, the exchange will win over time, but understand that, right, if we look on a 30-day, 90-day time frame, there are periods where the vault has been down. And then they also have their Drift insurance fund where you can provide insurance to these vaults, and understand, again, you're taking on the risk of being the backstop in case the protocol goes belly up. And the reason I'm showing you all this is basically, if I wanted to qualify for the Drift airdrop, I would do all these things. I would definitely try to provide liquidity, and I would trade on here. Up to 10x leverage, I would trade on here. And if you're in a country that they have blocked on, there's ways around that, pretty easy to do. But yeah, use the exchange and provide liquidity, and probably good. Next is Jupiter. So I have a separate video on how to use Jupiter. It's a DEX aggregator on Solana, as well as a bridge aggregator. Very, very sleek interface, very nice. Unfortunately, they've already announced an airdrop. Well, it's fortunate if you were already using it, but it's unfortunate if you haven't used it yet. And they've already announced an airdrop, and the cutoff already happened. So I still kept it on the list because sometimes protocols will do a secondary airdrop later, so it doesn't hurt to use it. And in any case, if you're swapping on here, it aggregates liquidity across other exchanges on Solana, like Radium, like Orca. So you're going to get really good rates anyways, and I think it's probably the best place to make swaps on Solana. But understand they have already done the cutoff, but there could potentially be another airdrop. Next is Tensor. Keep it rolling. This is an NFT marketplace on Solana, similar to Blur, and they have an ongoing point system. Love to see the point system. And basically, the way you get points on here are 3 ways. First is listing NFTs from the top 100 collections. Second is going to be bidding on NFTs from the top 100 collections. So straightforward. Basically, you're buying and you are selling NFTs from the top 100 collections. And then finally, you can market make. If you want to market make, you simply go to the place where you would buy and sell NFTs here. Right now I'm on the Mad Lads collection. That's the largest collection on Solana. And they have an option to market make here. So if you know what you're doing, you're an experienced NFT connoisseur and you want to market make, or maybe you're just testing it out for the first time. But I'd recommend understanding how this works before you actually market make. Yeah, you can go here and you can earn some extra points on Tensor by market making top collections. And again, it's the top 100 collections is what you can earn these points on. And basically the reason they try to do that is to prevent people from making their own tiny collection and then wash trading it to qualify. Next potential airdrop is going to be Backpack. What exactly is Backpack? Well, it's a wallet. They have an NFT collection, Mad Lads, the largest collection on Solana. They also have what's basically an app store. They're called XNFTs. They're like applications you hold in your wallet. They have a swap, and then they are launching the Backpack exchange. So like I said, it's a lot. It's kind of an all-in-one app. And so how can you qualify for a theoretical Backpack airdrop? Well, the first is buy a Mad Lad, right? It's expensive right now. It's currently over 80 Solana, thousands of dollars. I know that's not going to be realistic for most people, but I think this one is the closest guarantee you have to qualifying for their airdrop. If you don't want to do that, well, at a minimum, you should set up the Backpack wallet. Backpack.app is the website, and you can go here and go to downloads, and you can actually download their Backpack wallet for your browser or for your mobile phone. They also have the upcoming Backpack exchange. And what you could do here is you can actually sign up to qualify for their waitlist. So do that. It doesn't hurt. I don't know if that's going to qualify you for anything, but at a very minimum, it'll keep you updated. And if anything related to Backpack exchange does qualify you, you'll be ready to start using it early. Something else that I would do is once I install the Backpack wallet, I would install some of these XNFT applications and start using them in the wallet. Again, this is kind of like a crypto app store. Really love the concept on this, not going to lie. Some of these are DeFi applications, like you can see Jito is on here. Others of these are charting applications. Bird Eye is where you would go to chart on-chain tokens on Solana. There's games, there's NFTs, there's other things going on like whale alerts. Basically all these different things that use the Solana blockchain or relate to the Solana blockchain you can install as applications in your Backpack wallet. So definitely recommend using that and just generally using that wallet as much as you can. There's also a swap feature within the wallet. So I would definitely use that to hopefully qualify yourself for the Backpack airdrop. Next is going to be the Phantom wallet. A lot of wallets don't have tokens. So, it's tough to guarantee this, but you're probably using Phantom anyways if you're on Solana, so you already have it installed. However, what you might not know is that you can actually swap tokens directly through Phantom. So you're going to want to be sure to do that, like the MetaMask swap. And then there's also Phantom collectibles on Drip House. To qualify for that, you would go here, connect your Phantom wallet. You would have a certain amount of SOL, and basically you would complete a free transaction to complete the first Phantom quest and collect this Phantom NFT. So I would definitely do that, and no guarantee, but it doesn't hurt. Next website is going to be Drip House. This is one of the most unique applications I've encountered recently. Basically, creators and artists can sign up on here and they create digital artwork, and then you as a user can sign up to get free collectible drops every week. And the other thing you can do if you really want to increase your chance of getting a future Drip airdrop is you can actually give thanks to creators. And what giving thanks means is you tip them. So you tip creators, and what you do when you tip them is you have a chance to actually receive what's known as a rare drop. So for example, this one here, they give the top 20 thankers a rare NFT. Basically, this is an NFT that's more exclusive than the other ones in their next drop. And some of these do it as a lottery. Some of them do it to the top thanksgivers. So you can do that. And since you're actually spending on the platform, I think that really would increase your chance of getting a drop. Next platform is Kamino Finance. Kamino Finance is for borrowing, lending, and leverage yield farming. Pretty useful anyways, especially if you're into leverage yield farming, because you can earn what I think are pretty good APYs, right? Lucky you're earning 24% on Jito Sol here instead of that measly, 6-7% before. I'm partially kidding because you're taking on extra risk by using these strategies, right? There's a reason that the yield is higher. However, perhaps there's a place for this in some portfolios, and it seems like a potentially good airdrop if you're into that sort of thing. So that's Kamino Finance. And basically what I would do is I would just deposit into these vaults if I wanted to qualify. I would deposit into the Jito Sol vault. I would maybe use the multiply feature. And if you really, really want to get advanced, you could try to create a vault on here. All right, next one is going to be Zeta. Zeta is a DeFi perps trading exchange with an order book. And what I would do here is to start, I would deposit funds, click on trade now to open the Zeta Markets DEX. And yeah, you're going to want to deposit funds on here, and you'll want to start making some trades. And what you'll see is as you make trades, your Z score will go up. So you earn 1 Z score for every $1 of taker volume. And so basically what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to increase that Z score as much as you can. There's no guarantee that the Z score translates to an airdrop eventually. However, if they do an airdrop, generally speaking, if protocols have some sort of points or scoring system and then they do an airdrop, usually there's some correlation between the two, right? Because otherwise, why do the point system at all? Next protocol is going to be MarginFi. This is a cross-chain swap auction protocol that uses Wormhole. Wormhole is not necessarily the official, but the quasi-official bridge from Ethereum to Solana. And so Mayan is the front-end interface for bridging to Solana. You can do it from many major EVM networks. You can do it from Ethereum. You can do it from BSC, Avalanche, Arbitrum. And basically what I would do is I would bridge into Solana. I might even bridge away from Solana, right? And bridge back and forth, but do it in a way that's organic, right? Any of these things you want to do it in a way that's organic so you don't look like a bot. But if you're going to start using Solana anyways, you have to get funds onto it. You might as well bridge them through Mayan because they don't have a token yet. And potentially someday they'll have one. Finally, this is the 12th potential Solana airdrop. We have Phoenix Trade, another on-chain limit order book exchange. Now, note there's a lot of these sorts of on-chain order book exchanges. I think that's because something like that requires a lot of throughput, so it's difficult to do on other networks. Since Solana has a lot of throughput, teams that want to build those, many of them are building it on Solana. And right now they're basically competing to see who can make the top one. So Phoenix is smaller than Drip. However, you can see that like that, you can have limit orders, you can do market orders, you can buy, sell, do all those things. Basically, I would execute some trades on here. And that's all for today. I know that was a ton to go through. And remember that this is all speculation. However, it's speculation informed by how crypto protocols have done airdrops in the past. If you want more videos like this, be sure to like this one and subscribe. And until next time, this is Dynamo DeFi.